Hey, General Hospital fans, we have got your detailed spoilers for the week of June 1st through the 5th, and oh my gosh, buckle up because this week is absolutely packed. We have got Michael Corinthos going full villain mode and making one of the dirtiest moves we have seen from him in a long time as he sets his sights on completely dismantling Willow's world. Plus, Ethan Lovett is caught dead in the middle of a lie, and it is about to blow up in the worst possible way. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are diving headfirst into all the drama kicking off the week of June 1st through the 5th. We've got updates on Britt and Rocco out there on the run. We've got not one but two separate plots targeting Sidwell closing in from different directions, and we are going to get more clarity on exactly what Curtis is up against in that courtroom. But before we get into all of that, please click subscribe if you have not already done so, because you do not want to miss a single episode. Alright, let's get right into it. Monday, June 1st, Season 63, Episode 181. So, kicking things off on Monday, June 1st, we have Dante confiding in Liz, and I am pretty confident this is all tied back to the Rocco and Britt situation that has completely turned Dante's world upside down. Think about it. Liz literally got choked out and shoved into a closet trying to stop Britt from taking off with Rocco, and Dante knows that. He knows what she put herself through trying to help, so it makes complete sense that he would want to sit down with her and acknowledge what she went through. There is definitely some guilt there on Dante's part, and Liz being Liz is not going to hold it against him, but those conversations are going to be raw and emotional. So we've got Liz up at the PCPD talking with Dante on Monday, and then in walks the new guy Joe Fitzpatrick, and Dante immediately asks him if he has an update on Rocco. Now, Joe looks visibly taken aback in that moment, and I am torn on what that look means. It could be that he has news to deliver that is going to shake Dante to his core, something he really does not want to be the one to say out loud, especially in front of Liz. Or it could just as easily be Joe clocking Liz standing there and not being sure whether to speak freely. Either way, something is coming with that dynamic, and I am very interested to see how Joe fits into this whole situation going forward. Also on Monday, Pascal tells Jocelyn flat out that it's a shame she won't be able to do anything about it. And let's think about what that means, because Jocelyn clearly knows things. She has put pieces together about Pascal's role in keeping Anna captive, and now she is basically sitting there with this guy babysitting her, holding all this information and nowhere to go with it. I would absolutely love to see Joss just go off on Pascal because she has every right to. She is not someone who backs down, and having her penned in like this while knowing what she knows has got to be maddening. Whether she is saying something to Pascal directly, or whether she ends up going to Valentine or Dante with what she knows, that confrontation energy is brewing, and it is going to boil over soon. Also on Monday, Carly is defending Lulu, and she asks Lulu point blank whether she thinks Dante feels the same way about her. Now this is interesting because I do not think Lulu is sitting around pining for Dante right now. The more likely read here is that there is friction and tension between them because of everything going on, and Carly is trying to gauge where Lulu's head is at. Lulu and Dante are at odds right now in a real way, and that is probably coloring everything about how they are interacting with each other. Carly is just doing what Carly does, reading the room and trying to understand the emotional landscape before she makes a move. Then we have Rick advising Tracy, and this is a big one. Tracy brings Rick in with Brooklyn by her side, and they're sitting down specifically for legal counsel about Sidwell. Tracy wants him gone. She wants him out of deception, and she is asking Rick how they can make that happen. Now the problem is there's a contract in place, and Sidwell is not a man who walks away quietly from anything. We know he is using the deception deal as cover to smuggle in components for that secret phase-on project, so legally extracting him from the company is going to be an incredibly complicated chess match. Rick is sharp and Tracy is relentless, but Sidwell has leverage and he knows it. This storyline is going to get messy before it gets clean. And then Laura and Sunny are desperately seeking help from Lucas. We're going to get some really tense scenes with Sunny and Lucas at Laura's place. Now, if you remember, Sunny's plan here is to flip Pascal, turn him into an asset and use him to take down Sidwell from the inside. And Lucas is essentially being told that if they want any shot at this succeeding, they need him specifically. Now, what I am most curious about is whether Lucas lays out everything he knows, including the bombshell about Pascal being behind Marco's death and Cullum being the one who actually carried it out. If Lucas drops all of that on the table, it completely changes the dynamic of what Sunny and Laura are walking into. That is not just leverage anymore. That is a loaded weapon. Rounding out Monday, Na visits Brennan over at Turning Woods, and she is point-blank telling him that she is his only way out. So Brennan is still committed to this locked-in act, still playing the helpless patient, and Na is clearly positioning herself as the key to whatever his exit strategy looks like. I want to know more about what Na is actually planning here because she is walking a very delicate tightrope with her loyalties, and I do not think she has fully figured out which way she is going to fall. Tuesday, June 2nd, Season 63, Episode 182. Moving into Tuesday, June 2nd, somebody is going to blindside Sidwell, and honestly the list of suspects is long at this point. It could absolutely be Rick or Tracy tipping their hand that they are actively working to dissolve his contract with deception. Or it could be Lucas, who may be dropping carefully placed breadcrumbs about Pascal's real loyalties, or leaking information about Britt being out there somewhere. Whatever it is, Sidwell does not like surprises, and whoever delivers this particular curveball better be ready for the fallout. Also on Tuesday, Elizabeth confesses something. Now to whom, and about what is the big question? My instinct is this is connected to the ongoing Rocco and Britt situation, and it could potentially be a confession to Lucas given how their connection has been developing. Maybe Liz is carrying something she has not been able to say out loud yet, something she knows or saw, or a choice she made that she feels responsible for. Liz has a long history of sitting on information until the weight of it becomes unbearable, so whenever she opens up, it tends to be significant. Then Cullum has grim news for someone. And this one I am genuinely unsettled by. If Cullum is showing up at Turning Woods, it could be to taunt Brennan or to make some kind of move against him now that Brennan's situation is presumably more vulnerable. Or alternatively, Cullum could be going straight to Sidwell with an update about Britt, possibly telling him that regardless of the Britt prototype situation, he is going to find her and finish what he started. That would throw a huge wrench into everything, because if Sidwell wants Britt alive for the project and Cullum goes rogue on that directive, there is going to be an internal conflict between those two that could create an opening for our heroes. Also on Tuesday, Na makes crystal clear who she is loyal to. We know her loyalty to Willow runs deep. That connection has been established firmly. But I also think she feels something complicated toward Brennan because of the guilt she carries over how things went down. She was involved, she knows things, and that creates a sense of obligation even when she does not want it to. Her declaring her loyalties explicitly suggests that someone has put her in a position where she has to choose, and that is a moment I want to see play out in full. And then Willow gets manipulated by Michael on Tuesday. Michael is absolutely in his worst era right now, and I am here for the drama even as I want to shake him. My guess is that he is going to start planting seeds with Willow about Brooklyn, specifically hinting that Brooklyn was the other driver involved in the incident where Jordan nearly got run off the road. Michael wants Chase to find out the truth about his wife, and if he can get Willow emotionally destabilized first, she becomes a vehicle for that information getting to Chase in a way that looks organic. It is calculated, it is cold, and it is very Michael Corinthos when he decides someone needs to be taken down. Wednesday, June 3rd, Season 63, Episode 183. On Wednesday, June 3rd, Lucas is worried that he said too much. This could be in the aftermath of a conversation with Sidwell, where maybe Lucas said something that revealed more than he intended to, and now he is walking back through every word wondering what Sidwell might have picked up on. Or it could be that Lucas is replaying his conversation with Sunny and Laura and realizing he handed over information that now puts a target on his back. Lucas has been navigating this situation carefully, but when you are playing both sides of something this dangerous, one wrong word can be catastrophic. Meanwhile, Sunny helps somebody out. This could be connected to the search for Rocco and Britt. Maybe Sunny uses his resources to track down a lead or clear a path for them somewhere. Or it could be that Sunny steps in for Lucas if things start getting too hot for him. Sunny has a very particular way of helping people that usually involves making problems disappear. So whoever is on the receiving end of his help this week, they better appreciate it. Also on Wednesday, Carly wants answers from somebody, and given the context, I think she is going after Valentine. Especially if she has picked up on the fact that he has been withholding information. Valentine knows a lot about what has been happening at Windermere, and if Carly thinks he is holding out on her, she is not going to let that go. Carly demanding answers is practically a full-contact sport, and Valentine is not exactly a pushover, so that conversation is going to have sparks. Then somebody has an offer for Chase. Now I have been going back and forth on this because Michael wanting to clue Chase in about Brooklyn's role in the Jordan situation would fit perfectly here. Michael has every motivation to want Chase to know that his wife has been lying about her involvement even though technically Brooklyn was not responsible for Jordan's actual crash. The crash itself was Jordan's doing, but the circumstances surrounding it involved Brooklyn, and Chase does not have the full picture. Michael knows that, and he is absolutely the type to weaponize that gap in Chase's knowledge. Also on Wednesday, Tracy sees something she does not like, and I am almost certain this involves Willow and Chase at the Coeur d'Alene boathouse. We know Chase ends up out there, shirtless, wet from the water, and he crosses paths with Willow. He grabs her by the arms, and she is clearly scared or startled, and there is a lot of energy in that moment. Now, if Tracy witnesses any part of that interaction, she is going to immediately jump to a conclusion that puts Brooklyn's marriage in jeopardy. And Tracy already has her own reasons to feel anxious about Chase and Willow being in proximity to each other. She does not know the full truth of what Brooklyn did, and she has been sitting on that secret for Michael, so the last thing she needs is Chase emotionally connecting with Willow right now. Thursday, June 4th, Season 63. Episode 184 Thursday, June 4th, Season 63, Episode 184, and somebody gives not Nathan a tempting offer. Now, this could be coming from Jocelyn or from Dante, and the nature of the offer is going to say a lot about what that character's agenda really is. Not Nathan has been operating in murky territory, and someone is trying to get him on their side with something enticing enough to shift his loyalty. That is worth watching closely. Also on Thursday, somebody warns Ethan. Now we know that Ava and Alexis have been working together to dig up the connection between Ethan and Delilah, and they apparently have photographic evidence that puts him close to her. So whoever is warning Ethan has either gotten wind of what Ava and Alexis found, or they know that the net is closing in on him from another direction. Ethan being warned means there is still a window for him to get ahead of this, but the question is whether he is going to take that window or whether his arrogance is going to keep him standing right in the crosshairs. Then Na tries to get Willow to see reason. This feels very tied to the Sidwell threat against Drew. If Willow has told Na that Sidwell is targeting Drew, then Na is going to come at her hard about what the right move is, because Willow tends to go internal when she is scared, and Na knows better than anyone that shutting down is not going to protect anyone. Na is fiercely practical when the people she loves are in danger, and she will push Willow to act even when Willow wants to freeze. And then Tracy faces off with Chase. This is almost certainly connected to whatever she witnessed at the boathouse. Tracy is going to come at Chase with everything she has because, in her mind,